My name is Michael Maust. I'm the lead solution architect at Akins IT. A lot of you probably worked with me before, but for the new people, if you're attending right now, it's good to meet you. And I just want to say this is our first webinar, live webinar right now, broadcasting live from our Batcave here at Akins IT. You can see the bat patents behind us. But what I'd like to talk about is the next generation firewall. And this is going to be the first series of events and seminars that we're going to be doing just to showcase some of the skill sets that we do here at Akins IT. A little bit about me. So I've been here for about 5 years now, and my specialties include wireless, network security, pen testing, and campus LAN and creation. So like I said, a lot of you probably worked with me before, and for the new people out there, it's good to meet you. I have a quick slide deck I'd like to talk about. We talk about security a lot here at Akins IT, and one of our biggest partners that we work with is Fortinet. So because of that, I'm going to be demonstrating some Fortinet features and features that you don't want to miss when it comes to a next generation firewall. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it. So here we go, next generation NG firewall must-have features. First step we always look at is quality of service. So quality of service is your prioritization on the network, basically showing what priorities you have for certain cloud applications. A lot of things that we see nowadays are hosted PBX, where you have maybe a hosted VoIP solution like Jive or RingCentral. And we'll be demonstrating a RingCentral QoS demonstration in just a bit here. But we also have other applications like cloud gaming. So I know Fortnite might come out a lot, especially for kids out there. They want to have the best connection possible. And if you're in a situation where you're going to be allowing that on the network, this is a perfect way to ensure that you have high priority on the network. Different applications like voice over IP and video conferencing, they're very high. They have very high sensitivity to jitter and latency. And often we see calls breaking up and just bad service quality all around when you have low QoS. Basically, the network can become congested. Maybe your VLANs aren't created correctly, or maybe there's some other network configuration that's just causing massive congestion at your egress point to your firewall. Here, we can mitigate some of those issues by creating a QoS rule on the FortiGate firewall and making that overall experience a little bit better. So what we have here in our demonstration is a dedicated bandwidth rule for RingCentral or SIP traffic, that's your voice over IP traffic, and we're going to see how we can prioritize that traffic over other rules. A lot of you are familiar with the Fortinet GUI. So right here, we're in our traffic shaper policy under policy and objects. And here we have a quick demonstration of an Irvine location. This is where this particular firewall is located. And for RingCentral, right here, we're going to try to guarantee 5,000 kilobits of bandwidth. And that's going to be superseded over any other forwarding rule out there. So basically, when your internet goes, or when your network traffic goes out to the internet, it's going to hit this rule first if it's detected as SIP traffic. So here we're creating the actual rule. We're saying traffic priority is going to be the highest possible, as we see right here. Max bandwidth is going to be about 20,000 kilobits right here with a guaranteed bandwidth of 5,000. We can get a little bit more granular and do DSCP markings, but right now we're just going to be leaving it as is, creating our rule right here. And that's going to be shared. So it's going to be shared amongst all types of SIP traffic. In a bit here, we'll be showing what kind of destination IP addresses we'll be linking this particular rule to. But right now you can see this rule is in production and we have a current bandwidth of 2.24 kilobytes, which is not too much. But we also have no drop packets, which is good too. Again, high priority. After we create the rule, we're going to go to our traffic shaping policy. So here we have our destinations. Now these destinations are all RingCentral destinations. So it's going to say any traffic that's coming from our primary LANs, that's our LAN internal subnets, are going to go out to this RingCentral destination here, and it's going to apply this traffic shaper to it. Our outgoing interface is our primary. In this case, we have multiple circuits here, but we're just going to be looking at the primary for this example. I think the point here to look at is that this QoS is extremely simple to enable. We can enable scheduling, we can enable different services, but it's pretty turnkey. And in less than 10 minutes, we can get a basic QoS rule functioning correctly, and then alleviating some of the mess with the congestion if your circuit is oversaturated. And here for the proof, we go in our log and reports. We're going to sort by SIP traffic, and you can see now all our Polycom phones, which we would expect to have SIP traffic, is now going over that high priority rule. And again, with the FortiGate, it makes it really easy to look at our analytics here. It makes it very easy to look at our source or destination and any rules that are following it. So right now, we could actually do a test where we can oversaturate the bandwidth by maybe downloading a large file or something while keeping a phone call. What you should see is the priority of the SIP traffic hitting first, and then everything else is going to be lower priority. Now we can definitely do more logic to that. So if you want to do phones and maybe a gaming situation, like I said, Fortnite, we can definitely add an application filter to that and apply QoS to that as well. There's really no limit to the number of QoS rules that you can create. Again, we typically see in most enterprise accounts that they like the phones to be the highest priority because degradation happens pretty quickly if that bandwidth is completely sapped out. So again, this is one of the biggest features that we look for, QoS, and then by extension, SD-WAN, which we're going to talk about at a different webinar, but QoS right now is our focus. It's something that is often needed on the network, and for some of the non-next generation firewalls, it's simply not something that is natively supported. So again, this is something that you definitely want to look out for.